Hi everyone, and welcome to mini lecture 18. Today we'll be discussing the database Science Direct. Before we begin, take a moment to gather the materials for today's lecture assignment. You'll need a blank Word document to write on and then access to your current project draft materials. Today's lecture will focus specifically on Science Direct. Science Direct describes itself as an extensive database of Elsevier journals in a wide range of subjects, excellent searching capabilities and full-text access, an excellent resource for authoritative information in many subject disciplines. Now, I will say with Science Direct, they do tend to lean more toward STEM-based fields, so science, technology, engineering, and math. I mean, their name pretty much suggests that. However, because they are a general or multi-subject database, they do a lot of interdisciplinary work as well. So a really great example that even though I am studying English, I use Science Direct quite frequently because my research deals with computers and writing and the internet and writing. And so I turn to Science Direct because I will be able to find really solid technology-inspired articles that discuss writing and computers and writing on the internet. And so even if you initially think, oh, well, I am not going to really be doing anything with science, technology, anything of that nature, I would still encourage you to check out Science Direct because there is probably a cool overlap that you might not have thought of otherwise. Maybe you're going through and saying, hey, I want to focus on small group communication. Maybe you're researching small group communication, be them perspectives on it, or you're making an argument regarding small group communication. Right out the gate, it might not seem like Science Direct would be your database, but perhaps there is an article out there talking about how certain types of platforms or applications or software can help with small group communication. Maybe there is an interesting neurobiology article talking about how the brain functions during small group communication. So again, even if it might not seem immediately like you're dealing with something science or technology related, you never know. Again, there are a lot of really interesting overlaps out there in academic research, and you'll certainly see that as you go throughout your academic career. You'll notice a lot of the research you encounter is certainly interdisciplinary, and this is a good database to kind of get your feet wet with that concept. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to turn our attention to Science Direct and do a brief search so that way we can become familiar with its features, its affordances, and how those are presented within its interface. So I right now am on Dixie State University's libraries, their website. So really, if you just type in like DSU library on Google, this should be the first page that pops up. Now, on the home page here, you'll see in this far left column, we have article databases. So I'm going to click on that, and we are going to navigate to Science Direct. So after we click on article databases, we'll see this additional little menu pop up. Now, because of how the site is designed, I actually could access Science Direct from several of these options, but I always find it easiest to just go to the general multi-subject list. So we'll scroll down, and this is alphabetized, so S is toward the bottom, and in fact, it's our second to last, so we are going to go ahead and click on it. I'll also say that if this is your first time accessing Science Direct, you may need to sign in with your DSU credentials, just because this is a service that is available through the DSU library. You just need to provide your sign-in information, but it's just the same information you would if you were, logging on to Canvas or accessing your email. So here's the home page, our landing page here. And so we can already see that we've got a pretty detailed basic search bar. So in other databases, it might just say search words here, but this one, it invites us to put in keywords, author names, journal/book title, and several other fields as well. But if we scroll down, we can also go by specific discipline. Like I said, it does prioritize works in STEM, but as you can even see here, social sciences and humanities are also included. And that, again, will provide us the opportunity to see the overlap between fields on the same topic. So let's scroll back up and let's search some stuff. Let's see what we come up with. So let's say I want to search social media. Okay, see where that takes us. We're just going to type in social media in general. Already we have a lot of search results. We have a lot of hits. Now, what is great about Science Direct that not a lot of other databases do is that if your term is broad enough, so something like social media, or let's say Common Core, or you know, Mars exploration or something of that nature, they will actually suggest publications overall. So we see here social media audits, social media investigation for law enforcement, social media security, social media for academics, social media in marketing context. So again, we're seeing how we're pulling from a number of different disciplines to look at social media through a number of lenses. So we can always click on one of these if we like. So let's go to social media and academics. So we can browse this book if we want. We can read the full description. And we can also see if this is something that would be available in physical copy at the library, or see if they have a digital copy of it within DSU's library database. But this gives us information to determine if we even want to bother, if we even want to read it. So we could read the full description, you know, giving us an idea of, okay, this is what it's focusing on. These are the key concepts that are discussed. This is the lens that it's kind of looking through to analyze social media. But if we return back to our results page, again, we can see here that we are getting results from a number of diverse journals. So social media, it's serious. Understanding the dark side of social media, published in European Management Journal. Activity in social media and intimacy in social relationships, computers and human behavior. Let's see, social distraction, social media use and political knowledge in U.S. presidential elections. Mining location from social media, a systematic review, computers, environment, and urban systems. So what I'm trying to get at here is you can see how Science Direct, even with its focus and privilege afforded to more STEM disciplines, you are still getting that interdisciplinary benefit, because we're pulling from social studies journals, we're pulling from philosophy journals, we're pulling from technology journals, we're pulling from scientific journals. So you can see here how especially if we're just trying to learn more about a broad area of interest in general, we can see the different types of approaches that other academics have used in order to look at a topic that we're interested in. So again, this is a lot of stuff to sift through. So if we want to narrow down our results, we have our search bar up here, but we can also click on Advanced Search. So this will, again, allow us to just refine our search that much more. So, for example, let's say I only want journal articles on social media published from 2007 to 2018. And let's say I have a specific author in mind. So one that I have read quite a bit, Stephanie Vi. Let's see if any of her work pops up, and I'm specifically saying I want just stuff from her talking about social media. But of course, if there is a title of a journal or a specific volume and issue that you have in mind, you can narrow down your results that way as well. Also, different topics, different areas that you will explore will prioritize and privilege different types of information. So in academic writing, you will probably most heavily use scholarly articles and books. However, depending on your topic, you also might find that looking at software publications or product reviews or data articles, in addition to the scholarly articles and books that you'll come across, maybe that would be helpful as well. So if you do deem that as something important and something that'll help you, feel free to filter your results in that way as well. So let's search and see what we come up with. Okay, cool. So we went from thousands upon thousands of results to 6. So I have a number of articles that I have full access to that look like most of them, at least the top 4, are published by the author that I'm looking for. However, we go down to the bottom here and there are individuals who share that same last name, and either that or the word social or media has appeared in the search results as well. So if I want to click on one of these articles, so another thing that ScienceDirect does, because they work with Elsevier, which is a publication, you can actually get, as you see here, in-press corrected proof. That means that it has not technically been printed or released quite yet, but it's pretty much ready to go, and there won't be significant changes between this text and the text that is officially printed later on. Oftentimes journals will do that just because you don't have to, of course, wait for the printer to warm up and bind the journal and whatnot. You can just upload that content online. So we have access to the abstract, the keywords, and the article itself. And you'll see here that it's structured just like any other journal, even though you're accessing it online. Now, if you have issues connecting to the internet, or for whatever reason you wouldn't be able to read this online, you can always just go to download PDF, and that way it'll save to your desktop. You can, and that way you can access and read the PDF even if you don't have internet. So, also, one really cool thing that I love with ScienceDirect, and it's so helpful when you're just starting off researching something, is that if you look toward the right-hand side here, it says recommended articles. And so user-centered design in and beyond the classroom, just a tool, multimodal composition pedagogy. And so it'll provide us with more with other relevant articles that we could very possibly use for whatever project it is that we're working on at that point. So that is a cool little nugget that ScienceDirect does that other databases tend not to do. So especially if you're just starting to learn about a topic and you're gathering resources for it, this would probably be a good place to turn to first, simply because of this recommended articles feature. All right, and then if we deem it a solid article and if we like it, then we would cite the information and move on to the next search. All right, so returning back to our PowerPoint here, I want to talk about the lecture assignment. Using the considerations we've discussed, I'd like you to perform a search using ScienceDirect that will help you develop material for your current project, be that for the analysis, the synthesis, or any of the Project 3, 4, 5 materials which are closely related. What I'd like you to do then is compose a brief write-up, so about 75 words, detailing your research process using Science Direct and discussing the implications your results have on your current project. So I want a research narrative. Tell me the search terms that you used and the filters that you applied, and just kind of walk me through your process of using Science Direct. And you could even talk about the relevant or related articles that appeared as well. Maybe, you found an article not because it appeared in your search results, but because it was recommended once you clicked on an article you were interested in. And then I also want you in the write-up to discuss the implications your results have on your current project. So did it inform your understanding of your topic in a specific way? Does it show you that there's a lot of information out there on the topic that you're researching? Or does it show you that maybe you want to tinker around with how you use keywords to find information? So this is very open. I really just want to, how did you use Science Direct and how do you think it'll help? All right, everyone. So that is it for today's lecture. If you have any questions or if there are any concepts that I can speak to further, please don't hesitate to contact me. Okay, everyone, until next time.